When I first started with the CashPT blueprint, I was seeing patients in their house. I had a travel PT table that I still have back there somewhere. Yeah. And that was in January 2016. In August of that same year, I needed an office space because my business picked up as I learned and how to do things. And I then ended up doing my business full time because, again, that was a bad situation. So now I could do it full time, and my practice grew to where my office up until the middle of August of this year was a 10 by 10 office space. And now I have about 1,000 square feet. I have an awesome assistant and a lot more space to play with. My schedule is now about 28 patients a week. Regarding how much CashPT Blueprint did for me, I don't think I could have really been able to efficiently start my practice at all had it not been for the CashPT Blueprint.
I was not making any money in the beginning because I was a private practice owner starting from start to finish, nothing. But I would say it's grown quickly and significantly where, I'm already at it. If we were at a yearly cost, I'd be at a 6-figure salary already. I'm already bringing in monthly. Probably that happened after about 4 or 5 months where I was netting in a 6-figure salary if we were looking at the year. One of the things that Aaron and I discussed one-on-one was, why do you think it's working so well for you? And it's truly because you need to utilize his resources and work those action steps. A ton of social media is where I market a ton of my business. 60% of my business comes from social media. It's huge, but it's because I'm active in marketing my business to the way he recommends you do it, to the person, not to a physician, not to, and making connections in your community with people who are going to be direct referral sources to you. If you work those steps, you'll make way more than you'd make working for anybody for sure. But the goal is everybody wants that independence and they want to make good money as a practice owner. And I think a 6-figure salary and above is very easy to do if you work these steps. Yeah.
So prior to starting the CashPT Blueprint, I was starting at ground zero with my practice. And here we are a year and a half later. I'm seeing 15 to 20 clients per week and anywhere from 65 to 75 clients per month. About 6 months ago, raised my rates, and that's generated well over $1,500 in increased revenue per month. And I really owe this to implementing everything that I've learned in the CashPT model, whether it be marketing, having confidence to raise your rates, and having confidence to know that you can offer a valuable service to potential clients.
By using the CashPT Blueprint, it brought me from having 1 or 2 patients here or there to now I have a much more regular schedule. People are much more on board to buy packages, and they're bought in for their whole plan of care, and they're really invested in their health and in coming into my practice to get better, and they're seeing those results. I absolutely have more patients, more revenue, more interest in my practice since I started with the CashPT Blueprints, because it's helped to establish more of my presence both in the community and online, and just kind of get out there as a solid practice as opposed to just seeing patients here and there.
The one thing that made the biggest difference with the CashPT Blueprint, how it changed my clinic, was you kind of provided a blueprint. Because there's other people who do this service, but what Aaron LeBauer and the CashPT Blueprint does better, I think, than all of them is it gives you a blueprint to run a clinic with low overhead, which and kind of just goes back to the roots of physical therapy. You just need a critical mind, a very good way to analyze movement, in your hands. And he says that many times in the CashPT Blueprint. You just need your hands. You don't need a ton of equipment. Is it nice? Sure, but you don't need it. That's kind of what changed it for me, because it allowed me to, because I didn't have a ton of capital, so I needed to have a low overhead, and he allowed me to start it earlier than I would have if I needed to save up $10,000 or $20,000 to get it, a bigger clinic started. So that was one of the biggest things that kind of was the biggest difference for me using the CashPT Blueprint with immediate effectiveness for my new clinic.
I started my CashPT practice. I went into it with all these ideas of marketing to physicians and having to spend a lot of money on, marketing and advertising. And something that Aaron LeBauer's CashPT program really hit home with me was you don't need to spend money and waste your money doing those types of marketing. marketing programs. And so I was able to get started with a really low overhead with the CashPT advice, and it was really effective. So effective, actually, as I mentioned, I'm on a small island off the coast of Maine. Within 4 weeks, I was seeing over 20 patients a week. And I'm just now going into my 10th week, and I'm seeing patients in the 30s for an entire week. So, his advice has been amazing and really valuable, particularly in the marketing and advertising questions that I've had for him.